I found out yesterday. Like I said, I had heard this, but someone else, when you hear something from someone, and then someone else says something differently, usually you wait and find out if you hear something again. I had heard this before, and it was verified by the state election board yesterday. I called up there. This is that important. I know precinct officials. I know some inspectors. I had someone tell me yesterday that they had picked up on Monday, that they had picked up their machine for their precinct, and they had it on Monday, and that they were to take it to their polling place and set it up Tuesday morning, and that there was a letter that was sent out by their county election board, which requested that they do this.
Pick them up on the day before the election. You're supposed to pick them up on the day of the election, aren't you?
I called the state election board, and sure enough, the person that answered the phone verified that this is a practice, especially in the larger counties. Oh, wow. When I went to vote, I asked my precinct official that was there, 3 precinct workers, and he said, well, actually, our machine was delivered by the county election board here in Oklahoma County to the church on Monday. So the machine was delivered on Monday.
So there was no security with that machine, and it just sat there in a church?
There's no security with the machines that are being picked up at the county election boards the day before. I asked if there were any, if there were security measures that were given out. According to the state election board, there are supposed to be security measures that are given out. I was sent a letter by this county election board, and it states, and I sent you the graphic of it. I don't know if you can pull that up.
I can't, unfortunately.
So people can read. Yeah. I will read the letter really quickly. It's pretty short. I have it here. Please be reminded of the Tuesday, March 5th, 2024 preferential primary and blank county special election. I'm not going to give you the county here. Please notify your judge and clerk and make arrangements to prepare your polling place. If you do not yet have the contact information for the polling place, please call the office for that information. The precinct officials that will be working with you are listed on the back side of the other letter. You may pick up your supplies at the election office between 8 a.m. and 4:30 p.m. on Monday, March 4th. Please call the office to make arrangements if you need to pick up before Monday. Please be reminded that you need to plug in the voting device and open the polls on the device as soon as possible after arriving at 6 a.m. on Tuesday morning. Do not wait until close to 6:45 to do so, because if for any reason the device doesn't work, we won't be able to fix it and you'll have people waiting in line, basically. As always, you're very much appreciated. Please do not hesitate to call if you have any questions. Signed, the Secretary of this county election board.
Well, I do think that's troubling. I mean, I hate to say that, but I do think that's troubling. I mean, things just aren't the same as they used to be. And for a voting machine to just be sitting someplace without having any kind of appreciable security, I think is really a bad deal.
It's a serious chain of custody issue with our machines. Yeah. And while we are told everything is safe and secure, that doesn't sound secure to me, even though I love the people that volunteer to work in our election.
Oh, sure. Absolutely.
I love them to death.
And God bless them for doing that.
They normally do a great job, but the way our system is set up in Oklahoma, it only takes one compromised machine to infect the entire system. And so everything should be kept under strict lock and key and oversight by our officials until they are in your polling place, you know, until they are dropped off. The chain of custody overnight is a very serious problem, especially with the ways that we know, and we have been told by many experts now in the computer industry who have researched and studied these machines, as easily as they can be compromised somebody just hacked into one, using a pin, and that made national news. This is a problem. This is a serious problem. And and I know our officials, for the most part, they are all upstanding people, but the question is, if they don't have the security in their home or wherever they're storing the machine, somebody can get into that if they know where they are. I mean, people can make up there are legions of problems with this, and it's the larger counties that are doing this, that are allowing the officials to come in the day before or even before then and pick up these machines and pick up their supplies and materials, and they are trusted to secure them until they get to the polling place.
And you verified this with the state election board?
I verified this with the state election board, and
all right.
I could not believe it, to be honest with you. I literally could not believe that those machines were out of their hands on the day before the election. I said, nobody, she said, well, you can't get in and get to a polling place and get the machine on election day. I see that point, but I don't. If we need to if we need to move the election times, if we need to have more people out transporting machines that are either deputies or whoever, the chain of custody needs to be tight on these machines. And allowing people just to come in and pick and sign these things out. And our precinct workers, like I said, they're pretty much volunteers. They only get paid $100 to do this, and a lot of them work more than 12 hours on election day. But if someone were to get a hold of a single machine in Oklahoma, it could spell problems for the entire system. And that's just, to me, an unacceptable risk. And there has to be a better way to do this.